How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. So basically today I just want to be a little bit more flexible and just talk about something a little bit different. It's still about me, but you know, it's just something for you to get to know me better, and I might be doing this more often. You know, so the other day I asked my community on Instagram, I asked them that what are some assumptions that you have about me. You know, that was the question I asked on my Instagram stories, and I'll be reading out the assumptions that, you know, they made about me, and I'll be reacting to it, letting you guys know if it is true or not, you know, and I'll kind of try to, you know, provide some perspective to it to kind of explain further. So yeah, the first one is, you know, someone said you love going deep, especially with your thoughts. That's true, 100% true, because I overthink, and of course that definitely has its own negative effects that I am still working on. However, one very amazing thing that comes with being someone that kind of overthinks is that, you know, I get to be able to think deep about certain things. And I'm somebody that naturally I ask why a lot. So I'm that kind of person. I think deep, right? And it helps me to know what to do and what not to do. And being able to think deep, like people say it contributes to me bringing unique and different perspectives to matters, to situations, and I think it's just something very beautiful. So okay, the next assumption is that this person said they assume that I'm very beautiful. I mean, of course I am beautiful. Woman, hey. If it were to be me like 2-3 years ago, I would probably have said, nah, it's not true, or that's something vain, or it doesn't matter, right? Like I really genuinely used to believe that I'm not that like beautiful. But recently, right, in the past like a year plus, I've really been big on loving myself and accepting myself for who I truly am, right? So now I'm getting to even accept myself more, both inwardly and outwardly, and I think that's something that a lot of us need to work on, right? So whenever somebody tells me that, oh, I think you're very beautiful, what I tell them now is that thanks for not denying the truth. I don't try to form on fake humility and say, no, just stop it. I don't let it get to my head, of course, but I accept the compliment and I love it, right? That's that about that. The next assumption, the person said you would soon be known as peace and sanity man. Well, I don't know. There's also a friend of mine on Instagram that used to call me the peace guy, the peace and sanity guy, because a lot of my message is based around like helping you live a peaceful, sane and intentional life and all of that, you know. I think people have now kind of associated it to my brand, sort of, and I think it's something cool. There's a time that my mom said, you know, she heard me recording a video in my room when I was at home, and she was like, you moju peace and sanity, Lord, like, you know, video, you don't know more than peace and sanity, peace and sanity, peace and sanity. Coffee share. But I don't know, being known as the peace and sanity man, it's God that is the peace and sanity man. He's the source of peace and sanity, as it were. So I don't know if I'm comfortable with being called the peace and sanity man or the peace guy. I don't know, man. That's like dragging title with God. But I believe that, of course, I know that a lot of people will want to be calling me that. I don't know if I would say, don't call me that. I don't know, but I don't know about it, but yeah, I can understand where the person is coming from. The next assumption, this person said, a very thoughtful and always smiling man, but not too talkative. I think I already said that, like, I'm deep with my thoughts, so I'm very thoughtful. And another aspect of me being thoughtful is that I try to be respectful and understanding when I'm thinking about other people, right? So, you know, that being said, and I'm always smiling, yes. Maybe not always. I have sometimes that I frown, but I have trained and I'm still training myself to always maintain a smiling face, right? Like, you know, I've read some studies about how it's good for the face, or about how, you know, it's good for the mood and all of that. And generally, like, I just like to smile, right? I don't really like catching myself frowning, as it were. And there's a lot of people that used to compliment me, especially even when I was in school, right? People would be like, oh, your smile is so beautiful, it makes you look like a small boy. I don't mind. I like it. I like to smile. I just like it. So thanks for that. but not too talkative. Yeah, about that, right? I also believe that I'm not too talkative, right? I don't necessarily like to talk too much. However, I'm very expressive. Like, I love to express my thoughts a lot, especially if it's something I'm interested in or a topic that I really want somebody to look at it from a different perspective. You know, branding and communications, mental health, emotional well-being, peace and sanity, living an intentional life, self-development, content creation. Like, I can go all out. Sometimes on religion, you know, I can go all out, like, because I want to learn, and at the same time I want to educate, and at the same time I've fed my mind a lot on materials about the certain topics. I can really present a lot of facts and go very in depth, and that might make it seem like I'm talking a lot. So when it comes to things like that, like, I can be very like expressive. I wouldn't say talkative, but when it comes to gossip, talking about trends without looking at the brighter side, or trying to say something about somebody without having all the facts, I don't really engage in all of that. Yeah, sometimes I fall into it, right, because I'm human too. But most of the times I train myself, and I try as much as I can not to catch myself doing that. Like, I try as much as I can not to gossip, or you know, or dwell on matters that are not really important, or things that would not matter in months or years or days or hours to come. So yeah, it depends on how you look at it. And the next assumption, this person said, you like black clothing most. About that, I don't know if we can just say that I like black clothing the most, right? But I feel like some of the reason why I like black is because, number one, I am somebody that I really don't like thinking about things like, what will I wear? So finding black, right? Black is universal. Black is beautiful. So that's one of the reasons why I like black. Like, it goes on everything. It gives me less stress. Once I just pick black, I know that black can go on everything or almost everything I have, right? So I just tend to get black. I think also because my partner likes black a lot, so that kind of influenced me. And also, I've noticed that whenever I wear black, I don't really have to worry too much about lighting, sort of, in a way. I feel like, to me, I feel like black looks good on camera. I don't know, but that's what I think, Sha. I just feel like whenever I wear black, like in most of my videos, like, it looks good. And that's it about that. The next assumption is that this person said you use your hands a lot. Well, this is true. Like, this is 1,000,000% true. I use my hands a lot. Like, it has even been obvious in this video already. In every of my videos, like, you can already see that I use hands a lot. There was a time that I tried not to use it a lot. Like, I tried to be very calm and all of that, but I just noticed that it just did not really work. Like, I just love expressing. Like, I just love talking and showing expression and doing all of that. Maybe because I used to be like a choir director somehow. Maybe that's why. But I think in hindsight, a major reason why I like using my hand is because I used to be very shy when it comes to talking to people or facing the camera or talking in a group or asking questions in a group and all of that. And I feel like one of the ways that I've been able to cope with that and, you know, make myself comfortable with speaking in a group or speaking to the camera and all of that is by being expressive with my hands. I just feel a little bit more comfortable and in control whenever I'm using my hands. I love using my hands so much that whenever I'm watching somebody that I really admire speaking, right, and they are making some hand gestures that I really love, so I take it back, I pause, I take it back, I pause, I slow it down just to see how they did that hand, even though it's subconscious to them. But me, I just like it and I'll practice it and I'll be like, I've gotten it, I'll use it one time. The next assumption, this person said, I am subtly stern. Well, this one too, I think is 100%. I am stern in the sense that I like to tell the truth the way it is, especially when I have a different perspective about something. Like, I truly believe in something and I see somebody doing it differently. I challenge the person, like, in a very stern and straight and direct way. Or when somebody is asking me a question, I'm very straightforward with giving my answer, right? I'm very stern about it, like, in the sense that I say what I have to say when I have to say it. However, you know, this person is true by saying subtly stern, in the sense that over the years I've learned that as human beings, like, we all have ego, Like there's nobody that really like to be corrected or criticized. We just like to do things and we want everybody to accept it that way, right? And we don't really like facing our demons and facing our insecurities and our limiting beliefs and the things that we are doing wrong. So I'm learning much more over the years, or I've learned over the years, and I'm still learning that whenever I want to correct someone or change their perspective about something or make them see something from another angle, right, I need to show understanding, I need to show compassion, I need to show empathy, I need to be curious enough to listen to them, and also be open-minded and flexible enough to understand that probably they are even the one that is right and I'm the one that is wrong, or maybe we are just both right from the perspective that we are both looking at it. Like I've become that flexible and open-minded. So when I'm now saying the truth these days, like I've learned to embrace the and. I don't just see things as either or. So I've learned much more to embrace the and. I've learned much more to understand that this person can be right and I'm also right, but in two different perspectives, or in two different scenarios and two different situations, right? I've learned to, see that I don't really know the full story behind the journey, the struggles and the emotions and behaviors of people, right? So I'm quite subtle with how I put out the truth, or how I put out what I believe to be the truth, or what I believe that somebody should do, if that makes sense. So I think this is also true, right? These people know me. Another assumption is said that 1,000,001 ideas go through your mind every time. This is also true, right? Like I said earlier, I think deeply a lot, and I feed my mind with a lot of materials that are related to the topics that I'm interested in. So that contributes to me having a lot of ideas, and even to the point that there are times that myself and my partner, we would be doing an activity together and you just see me quickly pull out one of my jotters or pull out my phone and type out something, and she would be like, why are you doing that? You are distracting us, or you are slowing us down. And I'll be like, I'm genuinely sorry, but seriously, this idea is coming at this time, and I need you to understand that that's just me, right? Ideas just fly in my mind. I can be having a conversation with somebody and an idea just jump out from that, and even if I share it with that person, they'll be like, how did your head go there? I don't know, maybe because I fed my mind with a lot, or maybe because that's just how I am. I don't know, but that's that about that. And that kind of contributes to me having a lot of energy to do a lot of things that I'm interested in, because I'm like, I have dozens of ideas that I need to get to. Let me just quickly push this one out so that I can get to the next one. So yeah, that's it about that. And this person said, I thought you were gentle, but bro, you are not. I think it depends on the angle that you're looking at it from. I can be gentle, like the society definition of being gentle, like is to be silent, is to be easygoing and all of that. And I think to a certain extent I am that, but sometimes also like I can be outspoken, I can be wild, I can be sarcastic in a very healthy and respectful way though. I can be funny, I can be jovial, I can be playful, like I can be all especially when I'm around somebody that I'm very comfortable with, like my partner or a friend I'm very close with, or that we know each other, or that I just love their energy and their vibe, that we respect ourselves and we respect our boundaries the same way. And sometimes, when there's need to, I can stand up and look at almost anyone's face in a very respectful but stern way. It depends on the lens that you're looking at it from. So I don't know about that, but that's just it. That's just it about that. It depends on wherever you meet me. And this goes well into this. This person said that the assumption they have about me is that he said that you are an extrovert. That I am an extrovert. I don't know. See, first of all, I don't like labels. I don't like all this extrovert, introvert, ambivert, elevant. I don't know, all this VAT thing. I don't really like it, because I feel like when we associate too much with a particular label, we limit ourselves from being able to do certain things right? Because I mean, people will say an extrovert is outspoken and an introvert is just very introspective and very quiet. I mean, there are situations that will require you to be outspoken and to be able to network, right? So if somebody is saying that, oh, I'm an introvert, that's just it, and you just attach so much to all those labels and you tell yourself that that's just me, yes, it's good, right? But it can also be very dangerous in the sense that you won't open up to growth. You would not open up to some certain opportunities because you're like, this is not me. Yes, it's good to know yourself. It's good to be aware of the things that you can do and things that you can't do, your strengths and your weaknesses. But as humans, we need to learn to embrace the and. We need to learn to not over associate ourselves with a certain label, right? So that being said, now, when it comes to the definition that society has given extrovert and introvert, 90% of me will probably be introverted. I am more of the introspective, silent, gentle, observing kind of person. Those are the attributes that people have associated to being an introvert. So I think that would be the side of the spectrum that I fall in. And sometimes I can also be what people call ambivert, right? I don't know, but I know that I've trained myself over the years, even though I am naturally inclined to be silent, to be, a little bit afraid or anxious to meet new people or talk in a group and all of that. I mean, I literally get anxious when it comes to me talking in a group, even if it's online. When it's almost my turn to speak, like my heart will be beating faster. But over the years, I've learned to embrace also being outspoken, embrace being able to network, embrace being able to stand for my right, when need be, right? So I've been able to embrace the and people will say the label that fits me is ambivert. I don't know, but naturally, me myself, I don't really like labels. But if they ask me that according to the definition of society, what am I, introvert or extrovert, I would most likely say introvert, just to avoid all the deep explanations. But when some people hear this, they will say, it's a lie, you're ambivert. I don't know. It's ambivert, elevant, introvert, extrovert, anyone that you like, call me. But that's just how I see it. So yeah, this next assumption said you are someone that is intentional about so many things. I am intentional about everything, not so many things. I'm intentional about everything, or I try to be, at least, right? I mean, I try to be intentional with how I pronounce my words. I try to be intentional with how I write. I try to be intentional about the type of content that I create, the type of words that I say, how it would affect people listening to it. I try to be intentional with how I approach people, so that it does not hurt them, it does not trigger them, it does not bring up trauma in them, it does not bring back their past painful experiences. I try to be very intentional in my relationships, in the choice that I make, in the decisions that I make, in the things that I say yes to. And in fact, that's like how my life has been, like how I try to live my life, and how I'm always encouraging people to live their lives also, especially young adults and creators, right? Because I believe that if we are not intentional about the things that we want in life and how we want to live our lives, then we would most likely find ourselves living in regret in years to come, right? Because we'll be saying yes to the things that we are meant to say no to, and we'll be saying no to the things that we're meant to say yes to. So that's why I try as much as I can to be intentional. And I also believe that if we are not intentional, then we would lose relationships that we are not meant to lose. We will lose people that are meant to bring opportunities to us, right? If we are not intentional with how we treat them, right? So yeah, there are so many other part of my life that I'm trying to become more intentional about, like dressing and all of that. But most of the time, like 90-something% of the time, I'm very intentional because I like to know that I thought about things as much as I can before I chose to do it, because I believe that decisions that we make today that forms the future that we are looking forward to, right? So why would I not be intentional? Why would I just leave things to chance? I mean, you are intentional about life, safe, does not mean that life will go exactly as you want it to. Talk less of not being intentional. That's like too much risk. And this person said you have many crush and admirers. That was funny, but maybe, I don't know. maybe I'm somebody that naturally, because I'm also somebody that is trying as much as I can to discipline myself and not fall into lust, right? Because I'm human, right? And if I'm not careful, right, I can also fall into lust, right? So even when I've been in conversations with people that I feel like there's something that is happening here, or this person is having some kind of connection that I don't know about, I just kind of draw the line. I draw the boundary like fast. You know, I've been with my partner now for like close to 7 years now. So it's either I quickly tell them that I'm in a relationship, or I show them my wallpaper, or we start talking about relationship, or I just cut the ties. So yeah, I can't really tell if I have though, maybe because I don't really pay attention to it. I don't know, like I said, I'm not somebody interested in conversations like that. You know, like Adekunle Gold said, I be one woman type of man, shamelessly love a man, no. So I'm this kind of person that if I'm with someone, like I'm just committed to the person. It's because I believe in deep, meaningful, sustainable, healthy connection with one person. That's just what I believe in, right? So I really don't really pay attention to crush or admirers. And the last one says, you are a girl's guy. Egbo, when I'm a girl's guy, I don't know about that. I'm serious. Like, even though I know that the person that said that is joking, that kind of conversation just does not naturally interest me, because I believe that there's so many ways that we can get into things like that, and it becomes unhealthy, or it becomes lost, or it becomes, you know, shaming a particular gender and elevating a particular gender more than necessary. And I don't know, this kind of conversation doesn't really just interest me. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Gracias. Thank you. Eshe, Adupe, Awalewa Adupe. And really, I really enjoyed myself doing this. Let me know in the comment section if you had fun watching this, and if you want me to do more of this, please let me know in the comment section. And if you learn one thing or the other from my rants in this video, please just let me know in the comment section, and I will be there to respond. I'll be there to chat with you. Tell me something about yourself also in the comment section, or tell me an assumption that you think people have about you but it's not true. Let us know the real you in the comment section. And yeah, take care. I want to flex my love, I want to impress. So yeah guys, see you in the next one, and yeah, bye.